Hello, storyteller, storytelling Ron. Hopefully my mic is better. I did some things. I had a guy help me out. Hopefully this doesn't cut off as much, the gate or whatever it's called, or the threshold or the gate or whatever it is. Okay. This is about D&D is fun. Our faith is not. Right? D&D role-playing games are fun. There's that campfire, instinctual storytelling. You know, I get it. The oomph out of it. You want the dungeon and the monsters and crawling through and the fighting and the town adventure and acting like a ruffian and just the thrill of this unknown fantastical world and no Jesus, No, and I get that. That's fine. And even Jesus knows that, right? God knows we want to break. We need to break even from him. Right? I mean, in a sense, we want our sin and whatever. This isn't even like a judgment sin thing. It's God wants us to have stories. We create our own worlds, our own things, and not necessarily have God in it or faith or whatever. And I get that. Okay. And I love it too. And when I say don't play other RPGs or don't play D&D, it's like hyperbole in the sense of me trying to wake up in us Christian men. We've been lulled for many decades now. That's sort of my push here. If I go to a church and saw a group of guys playing D&D, well, I'd be like, damn, lame. But I wouldn't consider them not Christian or anything like that. And they wouldn't know what I'm talking about as far as my ministry or playing For the Lord RPG. And I get that too. I'm kind of a black sheep of everything. But anyway, so I want to go through it a little bit to show you how joyful and addictive, and a sacred cow, all of this is even to me. And I love this stuff. And last Christmas, not this 2024 or 2023, but 2022, I went crazy. I was developing For the Lord RPG, but I wasn't really fully fleshed out or I was play testing it, but I wasn't I wanted some RPGs, some other games. I wanted to read them. I wanted to hold them in my hands and read them as like a night read at night. And I did. I went through this one. I'm going to go a little crazy here. It's going to be a long, fun video, I think. I got this, right? Aliens, the box set. Just the printing of it is wonderful. I mean, this thing, I got a few Free League things, but look at the sleekness of the character sheets and the glossy. You get a bunch of character sheets. These cool dice I never opened up. I haven't played the game. You got these cards. I don't know what. I can't remember. I went through and learned the game last 2022 Christmas. But I haven't GM'd it or anything, or I don't know what they call the GMs in this one. But I'm just going to go through some stuff here. Look at this. I got the book. Is the rule book. Oh, look at and this is obviously the starter one. Look at this. Chariots. The adventure supplement. And then I just want to show you, you can see the graphics are just really cool to read through. I was like studying the adventure. Let me see, where's one of the maps? They got these charts here just you're gonna die if I rolled that number, you're dead, kind of a thing. The ships are like, I was looking through those, and like what am I doing here? What's going on? What's this all about? I think I'm gonna GM this, man. This would be so cool. And I read it as all right, I'm gonna GM this. How am I gonna GM this? What am I? I'm living through my own GM-ness of it, of fantasy. I'm gonna create a big stack here. But boom, I got the Marines. Look at this, man. This is just one. Oh, look at that. It's a station there. This is just, there's the scary, creepy characters. Oh, I got a bookmark. See the bookmark? That's where I stopped reading it, right there. I was going through. Reading, man. Had my cool little big bookmark. I was reading the campaign at the end. I got the, it's just, okay. You know what I'm saying? I get it. See, I got the role-playing book. I got them all. I mean, I got the working GM screen. Check it out real quick. Panic roll. Critical injury chart. Slow actions, fast actions, measuring time, rapid fire modifications. Just, I think the graphics are, obviously very subtle. I got two more. I'm just going to do it. All right. We got, two more box sets of whatever the adventures are. The Heart of Darkness, Destroyers of Worlds. It's a little subtle, right? Heart of Darkness alludes to that old book. Look at this. All right, I got Shadow of the Demon Lord. I was reading. This is basically Shadow Dark. They're all the same. Same thing. I got this. It's cool. Graphics are awesome. And the game is obviously a simplified version of D&D, which is what Shadow Dark is. So, it really does bring out those umps in you, right? Here, look at this. This is my classic Warhammer 4, Fantasy Roleplay. What edition is this one? Does it say? I love this one. I never GM'd this, but boy, did I love this guy. Here, look at the map of the Empire. I loved the goofy charts. I love the characters, the breakdown of the characters. There's a ton of these different characters, and then creating your role-playing character. And of course, it had the stats similar to the war game, Warhammer 40K, Warhammer Fantasy war game. The stats are very similar. I just love this stuff. And you got your gods, you got your pagan gods, you got to worship. What else is here? Oh man, just look. I GM'd this one, and it was just spectacular. You can see it on my channel. Look, I got the freaking map here. Just the levels and. Just it is. Can you hear me freaking out on this and all this stuff and how cool? A lot of writing, a lot of filler here, but all the different maps and I read this thing thoroughly, and most of it was on PDF though because I had to make it. I haven't GM'd this one, but I read this one, studied it, and was reworking it to. I was going to GM this one next. I gave them the option of this one or Tomb of Annihilation, and they chose Tomb of Annihilation. Storm King's Thunder. I did Rime of the Frost Maiden. We didn't finish the very ending. Kind of weird how it ended. It was kind of like a fizzle. People were just missing, and it went over like a Christmas, I think, and then from there I couldn't get them back together. But that'll happen. I got this. I was really into this for a little bit there that last Christmas. And I studied this one too. I was like, I'm going to GM this one. And it's just oh, look at this upside down cross. So a lot of, this obviously has a lot of people have this upside down cross thinking that's sort of sacrilegious to us Christians, but nothing's sacrilegious to us. We don't care. You can burn our Bible. Right? You're just wasting money. Or nothing's sacred to us. Like this is sacrilegious, but it's not. Peter was crucified upside down. He wanted that, and this is Christian history, not in the Bible, but he wanted to be crucified upside down because he didn't think he was worthy to be crucified like Christ. So for people who wear the upside down cross, especially the goth clubs I go to, I'm just like, you're not as good as Christ. I get it. Anyway, just dark stuff. But I really, wanted to do this and do like a crazy, weirdy, go for it kind of thing. Just like it's so dark and sinister. I got this one. I really like this concept of this simplistic thing here. I know I did the Kickstarter, and I think I'm still waiting on the prints. I can't remember. I'm still waiting on the prints of this, but this one was interesting. I checked it out, and then I watched a few actual plays, and it was fine. I thought maybe I would do it. It was kind of neat, the the simple concept of it. I hope you can still hear me. And then of course I got this full thing. I didn't really read it though. It's got 2 big long volumes there. I haven't read it. I skimmed it, but I got this just because Hellboy is cool. Very Catholic in a sense. But I didn't realize it was 5e, and I just don't care for 5e, and so I was like, oh man, I thought it was their own fun system. But still, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I got this one. I'm kind of like wanting to do a review of it from a Christian perspective. Haven't done it. Here's one I went crazy on. Conan. I really love Conan. All right. And I was even an animator on a Conan film that didn't happen. You can find my obscure channel called World of Grimm. I think it's called World of Grimm. It's another YouTube channel that I have that I haven't touched in years. But it was my CG animation, and it has my movie, a feature film I did which I had shopped around Hollywood and was kind of on my way to become a CG producer. In 2008 but that's when the home loan financial crisis collapsed and the whole sort of business model I was going for collapsed right in front of me, Blockbuster and all that. I started on another one and I made a little bit of money off of it. I even had a couple sales agents. I did film festivals, all that stuff. And I started working on the movie, but I ended up homeschooling my daughters instead, and that was the best path ever that I chose. And God made me do that. I know that if I would have continued down the path that I was on with the CG stuff, I would have been a little Hollywood house of CG production. But whatever. It was long hours sitting here making those things. I did all myself. Made this film, the first one, and then the second one, and it was better. The second one was even a little bit better, more polished than the first one. But the first one sold, and then it flopped, and then it dropped, and whatever. I don't want to go there. But anyway. I worked on this too before that, and so I was really into the Conan back then, and really reading his stuff, and I read his stuff, or I read their El Sprague de Camps when I was in high school, which I didn't know about the Robert E. Howard thing until later. But anyway, so I got this, and I got a few of them of the adventure of the RPGs. I just reading through here though, it just felt like a lot of filler. I just wasn't into this. I wasn't into all this. I mean. It's just, it's like, if you want to do this, you got to commit. You got to shut out all the other RPGs and then commit to this, and just reading the whole thing. And I didn't feel like that's what I wanted to do. I don't know if GMs today really want to do that anymore, this kind of thing. It's too much. I think. That's my little quick take on it. Okay, another one. Oh, let me go back to the classic. Look at this. Classic. 5th edition. 5th edition. And I have an earlier edition. Here it is. Oh my God, this one too. What edition is this one? 3rd edition. Look at that. I think it's just old. Just my duct tape. So I got into this for a while with back in college and pre-college, high school. I have a few adventures. This one I gotta show you this one. It's just my favorite. Stack. Can't remember. Is it the Blood Brothers? No, it's this one. Oh my gosh, I think it's this one. Yes, okay. This one I really loved. Right? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, look at that. Okay, so I did some stuff here. This guy, I bought this one too last year and really was good. Like, oh my gosh, I want to go Gonzo. I want to do this Gonzo sword and sorcery weird fantasy thing, with the weird worlds and crazy sci-fi and crazy barbarians. I got a sticker. I don't know what to do with that. This guy. That's probably the one very professional drawing in here, like illustrative. Roman soldier, Viking, and a sorceress with demons and stuff. So yeah, this gets very Gonzo, right? Very, very crazy. You got cavemen, gorilla men. Oh, I'm gonna keep going here just for the fun of it. Look at that Terminator. I got the Terminator. I wanted to like, ooh, that's how crazy I went. And these were all like, I didn't have any of these until, or a lot of the new ones here, till that Christmas of 2022. Because I left D&D and I had all the D&D stuff. Oh my gosh, I forget the most important one of all, but I'll get to the most important one here in a second. I got Mutant Chronicles and read through this one a bit. A lot of Free League stuff for the Apocalypse one. And of course, let me do some the old classic Space Master. I did a whole campaign on this back in the day. It's weird. Oh my gosh, my sack's getting big here. This one, I did this in high school. Or before high school. I literally had we had a lot of fun with this one. Oh my gosh, Ghostbusters. This one was really cool. I really, I still got those fun vibes out of it. I went crazy on this one. I really enjoyed the concept. Look at that, a popcorn is. Oh, I totally hot rods. Ooh, pumpkin patch panic. Scared stiffs. Let me see. I had. Oh, where's the characters? I don't have the characters like of the original dudes. I was playing it. But I mean, I obviously it was. I spent so much time just reading through these and doing notes, and I got all this stuff. What is this? Oh, this I bought this because I couldn't find my original. I had the original, all worn out, and I guess I got rid of it. These are all the D&D modules, and I played through all this. By the way, I started the very first game of my life as a kid with my sister. We were testing it out, and finished this one post college with a group, and it was very amazing. And the thing I remember the most was after they defeated her and returned to the land. The land was like post-apocalyptic, kind of fantasy post-apocalyptic, grim world, but things were beginning to heal, and it was very melancholic. I just remember that feeling we all got after winning and defeating her. It was like a melancholy of relief. It was really interesting. I know this is, I've got all the Middle Earth and Rollmaster stuff, but definitely Middle Earth, the Lord of the Rings stuff from Ice, International. There's more down here. I just, got all that down here. I have the first edition, and this is like the second edition of all the Rollmaster stuff. So, I know I should just move my camera, but whatever. I got all the Space Master. I've got this one here. This one I did a bunch of games with this guy, But this one was hard because of the whole hacking, but I did a lot of studying on. Look at that, it's all worn. This is so worn because I just used it so much. My backpack, I had my backpack. Man, I was just into this stuff. Never GM'd this one, but the Rollmaster Dark Space to me was so cool. I studied this book like crazy too. I wish I would have studied the Bible this much, but anyway. I got this. Just check this one out. Is what it is. I don't know. This one is intriguing to me. I want to do a review on this. I have a bunch of these. I had ordered from freaking Europe. Very, very gothy. I have tried to understand the game system. I read it through a couple times, but I could not get that. It just didn't click with me. The artwork in it is incredible. The graphics are cool. The artwork is very erotic. There's a couple of erotic R-rated R-rated imagery. This is a milder one, but definitely my style my fetish style. But I found as much as there's a ton of words in it, and they're very interesting. As a GM, I didn't. To me, it was kind of difficult. Look at this, and there's a lot of hardcore Christian motifs in this. It's kind of amazing, which I really should look into. I don't even know the culture of this game, like in Europe. Like, I've never heard of anyone playing it. I don't know. Supposedly it's like huge in Norway or something. But the amazing thing about this, where is it? Is it this one or the other one? Yeah, there's an intro. Maybe it's in the other book over there. I have like 3 or 4. But there's an intro where it runs through the entire creation story, like the Bible. Like, wow, this is... So I really should do kind of an interesting review of this, but I don't want to promote it because I can't, it doesn't feel like it's a Christian book. It just feels like they're using it as a coating over the game and what they're doing. I couldn't really... Yeah, anyway, it's very strange. So the final coup de grace, or the final one here that I want to get across to you is I'm just going to grab a few, but I think I pretty much have all of them. All the they're all down there, all the whites, the reds, and the blacks. What is it, 30, 40 books? I even bought one at $170 on Amazon because they had out of print, and we weren't sure if they were going to come back. It got discontinued for a little while there. But I have all the Star Wars. Let me pull one out real quick. I got all 3 of these. I got all the 3 starter kits. So I got into this, right? And really hardcore. And I did a and you can see on my YouTube channel, I did a campaign. But look at this. This is the hut world. I mean, the endorphins, the heroin opium thing starts piling in. You see this, and this little stats there. And whoa, what's that mean there? And how we do that? And all the little dice things. And wow, I get it, man. I get I want to go to these worlds. They got I want to go. The artwork is amazing. The organizations. It talks about the different organizations, the adversaries. Am I saying that right? Just seeing this kind of stuff. I get it, man. The book binding is weak, not because of the where I put it, but because of how much I freaking was going through it and stuff. I mean, the planets, I get it, man. It's addictive. It feels sacred. It's part of our psyche. Role-playing games are so much fun. I'm just looking at the stack. It's 2 feet high, just of the ones I pulled out. It's so much fun. I get it, and it's really like what we need. We need storytelling. We need to tell stories, and these worlds, we all connect with them with each other, because when I say aliens, you all know what I'm talking about. When I say Lexicultum, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. If I, Ghostbusters, Conan, Hyperborea, you guys, we know it. And it's invigorating. It's so invigorating to play these role-playing games, and as a GM to get the materials and tons of stuff and finger through it and start coming up with your own adventure ideas that you want to play out with the characters. It's so invigorating. It's so fulfilling in that storytelling way. We want to tell stories just like God and Jesus tell stories in the Bible, and we read them. This whole world is God's storytelling, right? He's telling a story right now. This whole thing that we're in right now. And the word, he uses the word. Everything for him is the word. Our DNA is the word. I mean, it's written. Our chemistry, the elements are all words. They're all letters. I mean, when they broke it down, they figured, well, this is all like letters and numbers, and they work together in a sequence and sequential. And same with our genetics. It's all sequential. It's all made out of words. Laws don't exist, but we know there's laws of gravity and all that. We know there's laws. Laws don't exist. It's not anywhere. You cannot grab the law. Yet we know it exists because the gravity follows that law. Gravity follows the law of gravity. Yet there's no law there. You can't see it. It's not there. Yet gravity follows it. And that's the word. God has made the word out of everything. Anyway, so I get it, and I'm trying to figure it out for the Lord RPG. I'm trying to figure out how we Christians in our faith can be fun. It can hit on these same nodes of intensity of storytelling that you and I love. You know, it is really addictive. It's like opium and cocaine at the same time. I've had cocaine. I've not had opium, so I don't know. But you know what I mean. It's just so much. You know, storytelling is just so much part of our life. You know, my contention, because I'm always or whatever. I'm always have contentions. Is we can fast. I fasted 72 hours when I was sick and stuff. And I when I get a medal that says I fast 72 hours. But like, I'm not gonna do that again. But I mean, it wasn't even that big of a deal. But I was in so much pain. Who cares? So I can fast for 72 hours, but I couldn't. But during that 72 hours, I could not go without a story. I had to have a story. I was laying there watching YouTube stories. You know, different people doing things, talking about their whatever. I couldn't go a day without a story. I can go a day without water, a day or 2, 3 days without food, but I cannot go a day without storytelling. You just can't. I think you just physically, mentally cannot, because you will start creating stories, right? Whatever. But the joy of this is a mountain range I had to figure out or whatever to work on. And I get that. I get that in other words, I understand that, because we just want to have storytelling and just epic adventures and stuff. And bringing Christ into it feels weird to us. It feels like it doesn't, you know, it's my faith. I'm a Christian, but I don't want to bring it into my fantasy, into my role-playing games. But that's because we've been told that. We've been lied to about that. We've been brainwashed to believe that. And I think, too, the Christian culture has kind of muffed it up a little. I'm coming at this from a role-playing guy, atheist, outside of Christianity. I mean, you know, I was Catholic and then ex-Catholic and then very atheist and very into storytelling, very into role-playing games. That didn't change, right? My faith, or lack of faith, and then now having faith. But my role-playing I was obsessed with that, period. Although I guess I'd say in high school, it diminished for a while there when I was doing football and crazy stuff. And in college, it didn't start until me and my roommate just couldn't go out all the time, so we had to figure out something cheap to do. So I started pulling the stuff out that I had. I went home, got it, and brought it back. And so we started playing obsessively. And then a neighbor, an apartment guy, heard us playing through the wall, ran over. You know, then he was our third player, and then we got more from there. And then that's when I finished that big epic campaign. But anyway, I want to show you how hard I am working on for us, because I'm desperate personally to get to figure out how to get a role-playing game where I'm not getting a bunch of sissy woke people and LGBT gay people, you know, snidely telling me I need to be tolerant of their sin. I don't want that in my groups anymore. I don't want it to be on the fringes. I don't want them to be threatening me. I don't want them to be changing the game, the hardcoreness of it, the fun of it. I'm not adverse to hardcore and death and brutality. And I want to go darker with this, but I'm trying to keep it family friendly for a little bit. And then I'm going to create a very adult dark one with the real pagan stuff that they do have done in history. But all right, I don't want to go there. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out a fun, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have, you know, if I could do this. If all I know is pure flicks and Christian movies and Christian church Sunday school stories. That's all I know about Christianity. The only fringe touch of Christianity that I know and love and see now that can happen is what's his name? The director that did, oh my God, favorite dude. He was the Road Warrior, the actor and director. Oh, what's his name? I'm going blank. Is it Gibson? I gotta look this up real quick. Hold on a sec. Let me look it up. Okay, Mel Gibson. Well, as soon as I typed it in on the screen, I remembered Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson made The Passion, and he made The Ridge, the Ridge one. What did he make? What's it called? Oh, I got a list here somewhere. He made Apocalypto, and what's the one? Hacksaw Ridge. So he's Catholic, but he's very strong in his faith, and he made a brutal, Christian film, a brutal film about Jesus, and the Apocalypto, brutal, but to me, a very Christian film because you see what pagans did to each other. And that's the kind of direction I want to go with this. I want to go more hardcore with the brutal. I mean, the Bible is got some brutal stuff in it, and gory, and very David Lynchian. Like, to me, the book of Judges it's a David Lynch film. Every chapter in there is a David Lynch film. It could be a David Lynch film. How creepy it is. So I want to make this game the way I love storytelling and the intensity of it and the opium cocaine of it. I want it to be intense and fun, but fun and whimsical too. I'm starting with whimsical because, and someone described that to me when he watched my actual play. So I'm really whimsy. I really like that he said that, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is whimsical. But I want to show you what I'm working on and how, for me, let me get this over here. It's so important to make this feel exactly the way you feel with Star Wars. It's important to me. It's very important, and we can, and I know we can now because of all the playtesting I've done for over the year. I want to count up maybe 50 to 100 people. I don't know, and more than half at this point were non-players, not people, actors and stuff, and they could play it. So I'm trying to make it so that there's fun encounters, crazy stuff, and we can do it. We can actually have this. I'm showing you these aliens, the genetically modified, to me, which makes way more sense in sci-fi, is the atheist empire terraforms planets and genetically modifies God's creation to make these abominations or corruptions. And I mean, these are innocent of their condition, but they're genetically modified, and everything's sort of got abominations and crazy stuff. And this is fun. This is like an extrapolation now. We are now free as Christians to make completely crazy sci-fi, okay, based on that concept, because it all comes from God's creation. So these all have human and animal earth genetics. These guys here, they're all crazy, these giant crab monsters, and that's one area, and this is a gonzo looking thing here, and this is kind of, the Crabalicious is meant to be for like a crazy jungle sci-fi, but also for the post-apocalyptic, like Hyperborea post-apocalyptic type of setting that I have. This is like Tatooine, like the desert planet. You can go to a planet and go down and place these around and make your little cool little settlement that they go and encounter pagans. And you know how you're going to make these pagans act? Exactly the way they act in all these movies that you see, Star Wars. They act that same way. It's all about trade, about racing, gladiator arenas, criminal organizations, police state empire. That's what pagans are, right? They're going to have a police state and a criminal activity, and that's all fine and dandy to both sides. Power. They're all struggling for power in a police state way or in a criminal way. And of course, there's the victims, which is all the rest of the people who are basically slaves, right? They're slaves to the empire or slaves to the criminal organization. And there's nothing else. There's no other hope. I should probably write that down. Let me write that down. To help simplify to you how to set up basic pagan setup. Police state or tyranny versus crime organization and slaves. That's it. That's the entire society of a pagan world. And the criminal organization would be the witches, the sorcerers, and the police state is usually the atheist part of it, based on even on history. And the police state will have a couple of those sorcerers, elite sorcerers and witches amongst them, but they want to get rid of all the rest, right? The competing witches and sorcerers who all are forced to become criminal crime people because they're not part of the state power structure of the communist, Marxist, fascist, whatever. And so the criminal organizations are the other evil amongst the land, and of course the rest are the slaves. And so for Christians, what we do is we come in and upset this ridiculous balance. We did that in India, because in India it was a royal organizations, and then the extreme Hindu people, and then which were the elite, and then of course the outcasts. And we started converting the outcasts, and that doesn't work because they need the outcasts as their slave system in India, even today. And so in a pagan land, that's basically your setup. You know, you can have different police states. You have a police state or an empire or whatever, or the king or whoever is the tyranny, and then you can have whatever criminal organizations you want. It could be a mix of them, it could be one, whatever, and the survivors, and you kind of, you know, different organizations there. So that's what this is. Tatooine kind of place would have the Hutts as the criminal organization, the Empire, and then everyone else struggling. And that's how it works. And you have the different guilds and stuff. You can have all that in there, like Assassin's Guild and all that. That's fine. So here's some avian creatures I made that are, you know, like this is little pterodactyl monsters. Some beasts, and you know, I'm still working on these. This is the first round of tokens, and these are all you know, VTTs and also printables. So you can just have it around your table. So you got some crazy looking rat fangs. What the? This is a what the? Mutant wolves. Yeah, that makes sense. They all got weird and different mutant versions. And they basically have the same attack, just you describe it differently or give them a little extra like tentacle thing or whatever. Grubbos. I have no idea what the heck these are freaky, right? Grubbos. We got Grubbos. We got Purple Beast. I have no idea what the Purple Beast is. You're gonna have to figure that out. All right. Dreadbots. We have our own Terminators. Okay, we've got it. Necrons, whatever. These are the different versions: the Dreadbot Eliminator, the Eradicator, the Exterminator, the Dreadbot Brain, and the secret here I'm going to give it out is there's actually human brains in there. So it's actually humans that actually control all the Dreadbots. So these might be all the AIs, but they still got to have God. You know, that's the secret. Don't tell my players. And if you're one of my players, well, you're gonna know anyway. That's the thing about Star Wars, right? We all know all the secrets of Star Wars, yet we love it and want to play as an adventurer. So no big deal. So I guess I got to reveal everything. And this is the parts of the inside of the ship. So if they're able to attack the ship and get in, they got these cool freaky deaky things. I got a little, an explanation of that. And these are the ships of them. They're cool, man. This is the actual ships. They're like made by their AI. They're made. Think about AI artwork. It's the same thing. Like, they just create it, and because it's it's for it's Dreadbots. They don't even need it for human comforts or anything. They're trying to take over the galaxy. And look at this. You got your jungle planets with your creepy fungal beasts, and these are all placeable. You can place these, on your planet, and there could be stuff in there. And got your crazy beasts, little fun effects. And look, Christmas. We can have Christmas. Actually celebrate. Just celebrate Christmas. Not an evil Santa, cannibal, butcher, which is what the pagans do for Christmas holiday adventure. You can actually have an actual tree up, talk about Jesus Christ and hope and peace and joy in the game to the NPCs, for the NPCs, converting the NPCs, showing them that we believe in the lights and colors and hope and joy of life. We're not setting this up to fool you or get one up over on you. We're setting this up to show you that you and I can be brothers and sisters in peace. Pagans don't do that. They don't believe in they believe in gang warfare. They believe in definitely you're my brother in war against the others. We're gonna take out the others. But in Christianity, we're gonna convert the others and bring them to peace. So here we got some corporate security people, some civilians, and I use these groupings a lot for like villages and towns and settlements, and slaves, like slaves in a cage. We got some Galaxian security, some Galaxian soldats. These are all like the different various police states of each planet or settlement. The red cult here was the criminal organization, or it could be a police state, who knows. The technos here. And I call them togas in the game. They're like little Jawas. Minor guards. These are guards that are kind of mutant or underground or whatever. You got a couple of little bartender, repair tech, sales people down here. You can meet in the space stations. What else we got here? Gases, okay, or goo or whatever. Hexes is for the post-apocalyptic, so you got hex crawl adventures, different places. Industrial, big giant pipes. I did a planet with these guys, running kind of like running water throughout the sort of Tatooine planet from the Terror Factory. Bunch of crazy insectoids, okay, little robot spidery things, flying helicopter, flying insectoid beast. I think I gave him a funnier name, but I don't know. Crabox, Vinegazoo, like the Vinegaroo. There's a Vinegazoo, can be a giant crazy beast. Termites, humanoidy termites. Pregor, Scorpo, you know, Bloodworm, Beastalpede, whatever. You can come up with any name you want. I just threw them on there. Missionaries. I definitely got to make more of these, but these are your characters. You got some warriors, you got some repair, you got some missionaries, you got doctors, pilots, you know, in a mix. Look at that. All these mutants. Big ogrigs. These are space ogres. Mutant boss, mutant armored. See? All kinds of fun stuff. Crow mutant. These are like for your post-apocalyptic or your abandoned planet. Wigwarts, I haven't used these yet, but I drew them just for the fun of it. And Siftons. I feel like Siftons and Wigwarts hate each other. I don't know. I definitely got your Road Warrior mutant types. Okay? I'm doing everything I can to make sure we have a fun, crazy game. These are the oppressors. Kind of like the witches and sorcerers and tough guys that run the criminal organizations is kind of what I designed these to be for. And there's stats on those in both places. Outpost. So this is like going to an outpost, a settlement, but a more high-techy settlement, or bivouac kind of tents for empire or whatever organizations temporarily there oppressing everybody or whatever. You can do some tables, and you can set up a outpost with these squares here and the corridors, and then throw some of this stuff up here as props on there. Soapbox. What did the guy say? Pillbox. I call them bunkers, but I guess it's a pillbox. I'm not sure. One of our players is an ex-military cop. Pagan altar stuff. You can throw these in there somewhere. Prop terrains. So this is just goofy, rocky ruins, and I use these a lot for almost every cacti, prop cactus or whatever, space cactus. I don't know. Reptoids. So I really got these reptilian warriors, which are definitely cool to fight. And those can be in the post-apocalyptic or the sci-fi, right? Sci-fi planet, Tatooine kind of planet, or post-apocalyptic mutants, scary mutants. Look at the cyborg reptilians. See, we got them all. We can do all this stuff. Makes sense. The atheists go crazy. They're mad scientists. They're making those COVID viruses. Roadways here, decrepit. Robots. We got robots. Killer robots. Just basic security robots. Gonzo robots. Whatever you want, man. We can do it. Ruins. See? Cool ruins underground, on top, whatever. Make your own maps. I love this, man. This works because one of the players became a GM and he did his own maps and they look great and he used all my stuff. So like, yeah, it works. Oh, this is the interior of your ship, so you can make a ship. And I love this, man. You can create your own ship. Where's their ship? Create your own ship and fly it around, and run around in it as you're in a battle. Because when I shoot you, or when you're getting shot up, I roll randomly to determine where it hits him. And I have you have a little chart of like the different parts. And if that part gets hit, it's sealed off. You better go repair it. If it's at the engine, is it the missile launcher? You can repair it in the game. It's hard, but you can repair it. As you're fighting. Oops, what am I doing here? This is a fighter. Fighter craft. And here's the interior of like a troop ship, like a Empire. And there's like below ground, top level, bottom level, main level of this ship. And that's how I do it. Oh, this is an assault boat. See how simple? And I just repurpose whatever sort of graphics look like that part of the ship, right? This is a big ogrig trawler. So it's very simplistic. And big heavy guns, cannon guns, And there's the engines and okay. Cool stuff, man. and then some shuttles, planetary shuttles. This is my maps of the area, and these are included, I think, I hope they're included in the download of the PDF. That should not have the people in it, though. I will replace that, but that's interesting. Yeah, I should remove the people and just have the map there. So you can use these maps too, like on your VTTs, if you wanted. And I bought the commercial license for this, so I can use them like that. See, got your little planetoids. Well, so what I do is this is strange. I need to update this. I don't use it this way. I use this way, but I should use it. I should have it be more like this, but without the people, so that you can use it as a VTT, this way. But at the same time, actually, what I really do, like this one here, but really, what I really do is have this out like this, so you can make your own. This just gives you an idea. In the PDF, I'll have these images to show you what I've done, but you can make your own. And this is obviously underground, this part right here, so they're hidden. So when they drop, they will encounter this base here, these ruins, and then this one right here. Lots of those types of adventures, man. This is all one planet, different areas to encounter. This is the pipes, and this is like there's like a leakage here, so there's water coming out, so there's all this growth, and lots of cool stuff going on there. I wish they would go there, for crying out loud. I'm trying to get them to. Space stuff, just handy. Wolf. Oh, that's what I just did. Anyway, so let me go back. Oh, let me do one last thing here. So this is the galactic map. Obviously, it's smaller than the Star Wars one because I'm just starting out. But the Empire's here, and then some remnants out here. I'd like to, expand this out even further, but I'm only gotten this much right now accomplished. I'm building out over here. It's very scary over here. You don't want to go there. The mutant marauders. And the biodreads are the Tyranids, the Zergs. We got the mechanics make the dreadbots, which are coming through here. This is the old name, killer bots. But the mechanics and mutant marauders are here. Remnants is like the rebellion. They're outside of the Empire, which is here. The Empire is taking over this area. But they're, of course, being surrounded by the biodreads. And the atheists created the biodreads and the dreadbots. They created them. One of their own factions angrily created the biodreads to counter the Empire, and mutual destruction kind of thing. That's the storyline is there. Space station. So I can make so many varieties with I add other stuff to it as well. But these are storefronts that you put, on one of these and create different little tech shops and sales places and little sales booths, little food booths. And here's a space cantina station. A lot of fun. So little swarmy things. Tribal, slave crates, a lot of tribal, lot of slavey stuff. Okay. Slaves. All right. That's paganism, slavery. Reading this described, he only described a little bit of it, but the few sentences he describes of the slavery in Africa and the what they encountered, the death of people through human sacrifice because of paganism and voodooism, horrific, not being told. Here's vehicles we can use in the game in post-apocalyptic or the sci-fi. Okay, so my point being, we can do it. We can do it. We can have our faith, because in this game you evangelize, right? You're a Christian. You're looking to plant the church, but you're going to come up against all this adventure and this intensity, the same intensity. And the only reason that this doesn't have enough of 2 feet worth of things is because I haven't created more, and you guys could create some. We could create as many worlds as we want in the sci-fi one. In the post-apocalyptic one, you can create as many crazy encounters as you want in that one. And then in the Dark Ages, I know one guy said he wanted to do the Greece one. Great, make a Greek campaign, and then the other player's doing the Irish one, and we can, and he's doing a 6th century, and you can do an 8th century, do a 10th century, or so it's just a matter of building these out and creating more and more of this content. But we have the game system for Lord RPG, and it's simple enough, but also expandable enough. That's where I'm getting into die ranks and secondary die ranks and die rank results. That stuff is mainly for when you really want to get into the weeds of the game. Otherwise, it's just using the simple system of B to 12, roll to B to 12, and then the GM can change that 12 based on the defense of the character. And the character skills can go from D4 to D6, D8, D10, D12. And D12 is kind of the maximum and then once they get to that point, they can, if they want to get really into their character, they can go into the additional, secondary die bonus and all that stuff, which is the rules I'm kind of working on now, which I've pretty much done. But in crafting and all that, that's all into the weeds. But the simple version of the game where you're just playing and then adventuring and doing the first die ranks of bonuses and stuff and skills is fun. It's simpler than the Shadow Dark or all those other simple OSRs that are coming out now, but yet more expandable. There's no 10th level limit or anything like that. And we have it. I just now gotta, I think my main thing now is to probably pass this on because I have such a terrible charisma, but pass on this game to younger people who with more savvy than me that are young Christian men. But I'm really it seems like the thing that I have to deal with now is convince you all Christian men that we can have that same umph that I showed you at the beginning of this video in this game. It's there. I feel it. I can sense it. I just don't have enough content. And I don't want to be the only one making the content. I'm hoping others will make content for it too. And this is some OGL type of system license where it's just open to you guys. Just give the game credit, even though I'm, whatever. But if you want to take my evangelism rules, church planning rules, and for your own thing, have at it. Go for it. Because great. Now there's 2 of us, doing it. Out of the 1,000+ pagan RPGs out there. RPGs are growing in the culture, and they're helping people tell stories and get into stories and storytell together. And we on the Christians don't really have a good response to that. I don't want to make a Christian role-playing game where you just sugarcoat the paganism with a Christian motif. I don't want to do that. I want it to where you actually are a Christian in the game. You actually play as a Christian. You evangelize and you plant churches. That's the New Testament. That's primarily what that's all about. From Acts on, it's about planting churches. And so that's what we're working on, okay? That's what I want to do. So I got to go real quick. Okay, I had to help my wife there. Okay, so this game is a Christian evangelism, planting churches. That's what the characters, that's what we need to do. Like, as in, when we play these role-playing games, we're turning into pagans. We're being lulled into our psyche becoming very pagan. Hero, go beat some villain, make sure the villain is really bad, identify the villain as very white supremacist, racist, homophobe, transphobe villain. So you got to make sure you, as a pagan, that's what you do. You make sure you slander the target and go for it, and then go kill them, and then you get the treasure, and then you save the people or whoever, and you're the hero, and you're the god, and you upgrade, and you do it again over and over and over. That's kind of the basic concept of the story. In the Christian one, and that's what we're doing. We're teaching ourselves to be like that, and that's where I'm like, wow, that's boring. Now I see that how boring that is. Evangelizing is you go in, you figure out who's the bad guy, what's going on, or who's causing these problems. First you change the people, give them hope, and then you're going to go try to confront the villain and try to break them down. Not violent, obviously we're going to have some violence because it's fun. I'm still addicted to that, but and that's Christian history, by the way, dealing with, because at some point they're not going to give up their child sacrifice or whatever. At some point they're just not going to give it up. As politely as you ask them to. As you give them the word, as you evangelize to them, they're just not going to give it up. That's evil. So at some point you got to, there'll be that type of adventure. But the point is to try to get them to give it up, try to get them to see their ways. In one of my games, they converted a witch, and I was, it was based on the dice rolls. I set it up so that it was very hard to and I think about that ahead of time. How hard is it to convert this person? And I give them a number and or a series of numbers or whatever it is, and they got to beat those. And even like a gladiator, they can't convert this gladiator at all with words like evangelism until they bring him down, drop him to near death, and then heal him. If they do that, he will change his ways. Like, what? You're healing me after I tried to kill you all? That's one type of secret GM prep to make a pagan. The other one is the witch. You can only convert her after you get rid of all her minions, whether they can convert or beat them. You can kind of come up with little ideas on that, on the different villains. But they have a weak point. But also you could do it where you're preaching to them as well. But anyway, that's part of the going into the weeds there with the game. But it's about giving people hope and building a church and building a civilization, which is what our church fathers did back in the medieval times. They went around in Europe and got rid of paganism as the main force, and changed it into a civilized world that you and I are now benefiting from. You're benefiting. This whole creativity that we have, this whole industrious and electronics and digital and all this stuff comes from Christianity. It comes from the culture and civilized civilization of Christianity, where we don't believe in gang warfare. We don't believe in vengeance. Even though we have all these movies of assassins and vengeance and killing, we don't believe in that. And we need to start bringing that back, that we don't believe in that. Because we're being learned. We're sort of all learning now to just have vengeance. That's what paganism is, vengeance. I saw this documentary and film about the Christians who went into South American tribes, and the tribes admitted that they were going to go extinct by their own vengeance upon each other. They lived on vengeance through the generations. That's how they attacked each other on vengeance. It was the Christian missionaries who came in who got murdered first. The father got murdered. The son, the wife of the man and then the son came in later, forgave them, and that's when they realized we can forgive. They didn't understand that concept, forgiveness. And it was one of them, the father, the one that murdered his father. He said that, or I'm paraphrasing and all that stuff, but he said it was because of these Christians coming in and teaching us about the Christ and the Father that we realized we don't have to keep killing each other. So that's the world of paganism in the world of Christianity, and we're erasing it. The pagans are doing a great job, and I admire them for doing everything they can to erase Christian history and the church and us from our psyche, so that we are becoming pagan without even knowing it. You and I are becoming pagan because we put our faith at the door when we come in to play a role-playing game, Gen Con or whatever. We have to keep our faith out, but bring in all kinds of paganism. No, we don't want that Jesus in here, but you can worship one of these gods over here, okay? It's not a real God. No one worships these gods. Well, paganism is all about making crap up. So if you're making up crap, then that's paganism. And paganism is a real religion. And so is Christianity. Christianity and paganism are both real religions. Paganism is make up any gods you want. I got that from those words from the mouth of a pagan on YouTube. She's promoting her little pagan channel, and I just make up. Every pagan does it differently and figure out their own kind of thing. Exactly. So when they tell you not bringing your Christian faith, but here, pick one of these gods for your. Oh, it's nothing, no big deal. You don't have to believe it. Just play it, role play it out. No, bring in your faith. Bring in Jesus Christ for the heck, for the fun of it. It's fun. So they're going to hate it. They're going to get on you. They don't want you in it. They're not going to allow it. They're not going to allow it. Why? I mean, if it's fantasy, they don't believe in it. It's fantasy. But it's real to you. I know, but paganism is real to you. Making up gods, any god, or your own, or be your own hero, your own god. That's real to you. So that's what you're playing. So why can't I play what I'm playing? Fantasy or real? They won't allow it, right? So I'm telling you, begging you, asking you, making you realize, trying to get you to see that we need to create a For the Lord RPG or Christian RPGs that are hardcore, fun, and start collecting ourselves together into groups, and a network, and then start pushing, creating our own conventions, and all that. So Long video, fun video, but I just want to do it. I have so much to do and say and joyful. Thanks for listening. And thank you guys, all you guys that are players or people that are commenting and liking and helping me get this out there, this message out there. And this is your message too. It's not just mine. It's yours. I don't own this. Okay. So if any of you want to take this and create your own games, your own channel, your own show, please, I'll help you. I would like credit for Fort Lord RPG, like in the sense of we have a centralized place where there's a, and I don't want to control that at some point. I would like a pastor to control it, like, or elders. It would be nice to have elders, like literally like a church controlling this, not me. I just want to have fun and create I'm a GM. I just want to create little things and, and do, I don't want to do all this other stuff that I'm doing with this, but I have to, cause I don't know what anyone else is doing it. Anyway, so so please, this is your game too. It's not just mine, Fort Lord RPG. All right. In the game of life, roll holy dice.